person can do. Back then, in those times, it was popular because there was no social media, but also it was not as difficult, right? Like IGP evolved into something pretty close to impossible, like to accomplish the ideal. This is like so many things need to line up. Like the whole Milky Way has to, not just few stars, the whole thing has to line up for somebody to make it happen, right? So it's not a, where we are with IGP, in one hand, it's super cool. I very much appreciate it because it's just not for everybody. Just as we need a dog with a lot of talent, we need a handler with a lot of talent and a lot of be willing to make the sacrifices that the IGP really calls for. PSA is different. Some other sport, and again, like you, of course, you have PSA different levels and so on, and then it can get quite complicated. But again, like look, when I'm thinking of IGP, it's not at where we are today. It's just not the sport for, oh, everybody can come and you're welcome, let's go. It is to that level, but then there is that other level that you know very well what it takes to be there, you know, to be in this top 50 in the world.
Yeah,
And
and I think
that I think it's okay. It should be like that, right?
and it's like I think the hardest thing in IGP is for young people or young, not even young people, but young trainers basically who haven't or new beginners in this sport, is that if you want to bring your dog to do one day nice obedience, it takes years to build that level of healing and precision for it. You just can't do it within 1 month or 2 months. And if you go to compete, then when your dog is losing eye contact and walking like forging or walking crooked or something, you will never fix that issue.
Correct.
Like it's just impossible to fix it later. You have to build it really nicely, and it takes time. And the same is with tracking. You can bring your dog to IGP1 so that he is running through the track with a high nose. But you cannot fix it then later. So it takes time to make this kind of like how you take the food away from your track, or how you teach your corners, and how all these things that take so much time. So I think, and the same would be in protection, that if you want to bring your dog quickly to the competitions and you don't care about those guarding phases, what you mentioned before, then it doesn't matter. You can start to teach the dog to be under control from very early beginning. But if you really want that your dog will never anticipate the call out from blind, and he will never look at you or the judge in the guarding phases, uh, and you have to first build the drive to bite before you can actually build a nice guardings after the out. so
Right.
so all these things, they take a lot of time. And maybe I think I don't know so well about PSA or ring sport, but perhaps the first class, like at least in monitoring, you can bring the dog there pretty quickly if the dog is generally a little bit talented. Then it of course comes difficult when you want to go to Mondiaring 3 or something. But even you would bring your dog quicker to the first class, you don't ruin everything else. You
Right.
still, maybe if you then train 2 years more, you can reach nice results. But in IGP, if you do that, it's gone. The train went and you cannot get it back.
Yeah, that's so true.
I think that is hard, at least, or what I think. And then a lot of people, they don't have that passion, they don't have that um, time, that they're like, oh, I want to train, but it feels like forever before they can compete.